are here again, and we are here for week 8. Boy, have we been rolling along, and today is our Math Meets Literacy Day. That means we're going to read an exciting story, and we're going to tie math into it. So we're going to be doing language arts and math, reading all together as one. That's always fun when we can do two subjects together. So before we get started, guess what we're going to do? You guessed it. We're going to do some math and movement. But guess what? Today, we're going to do something a little bit different because this week we've been talking about counting and counting up to 100. So rather than us doing a math and movement with numbers, we're going to use our patterns. Remember when we did patterns a few weeks ago? We're going to do a pattern today, and it's going to be A, B, C, D pattern. But we're going to transfer that into movement. Remember all those vocabulary words we did with patterns? So because it's an A, B, C, D pattern, that means it's going to have what? 4 parts to it. So are you ready? So I call this our math tick-tock pattern dance. So here it is. You're going to go A, B, C, D. Okay? And we're going to do that 5 times. And after we do it the 5th time, we're going to celebrate because we would have done our pattern. We would have repeated our pattern 5 times. So are you ready? Remember, it's A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Are you ready? Okay, let's get ready to do it. Ready? Go. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. One more. A, B, C, D. Super job, everybody. Super job. I love how we all were able to get together and do our math tick-tock dance, pattern dance. So now that we've done that, got our bodies all warmed up, brains all warmed up, we're ready to get going with our lesson. And so today, what you're going to need is paper, pencil, some crayons, colored pencils, or markers, and guess what? You guessed it, your listening ears, because we're reading a wonderful story, and I want you to hear all of the words and be able to answer all of the questions. So get all those things together so that you're ready to start the lesson. So while we're reading our story today, we're going to be looking out for some particular things. So we're going to be looking at our learning goal, which is when given a number between 0 and 100, I can orally count by 10s and 1s. Orally count means you can count them out loud. 1, 2, 3, like that, all the way to 100. So we're going to do that today in our story and with our practice. So that all relates to our kindergarten SOL that said students will count forward orally by 1s from 0 to 100. You're also going to be counting backwards orally by 1s and counting forward by 10s. All of those things are the SOL that we're going to be talking about this week. But today in particular, we're going to be looking at A, which says I can count forward by 1s from 0 to 100. Okay? So do you have everything ready? Let's look at our story. And our story is called 1 is a snail, 10 is a crab. Now, when I look at the cover, because remember, this is the front cover of our book, I can make a prediction about what our story would be about. So I want you to think in your brain, what do you predict that this story could be about? Oh, I'm thinking, it could be about a snail and a crab who are friends. Could that be a prediction? Yeah. What else could I predict about this looking at the cover? Could I say, the snail and the crab are friends and they go to the beach? Yep, I could predict that that might be what this story is about. What else? I might could say, oh, there's one snail and 10 crabs, because that's in our story, in our title. Maybe there's going to be one snail and 10 crabs, and they're going to go to the beach together. All of those, along with your predictions, are great predictions for what the story could be about. Because a prediction is us thinking about looking at what we see on the cover and the title and trying to decide what we think the story might be about. How do we figure out if our prediction is right? That's right, we read the story. We read the story. So now we know that the title of our story is 1 is a snail, 10 is a crab. All right, let's get going. First page, what is that? The title page. And on the title page, we have the title of the story, we have the author of the story, and the illustrator of the story. And so this story is 1 is a snail, 10 is a crab, a counting by feet book. It's by April Pulley, Sear, and Jeff Sear. It's illustrated by Randy Cecile. So Randy Cecile is the illustrator, so he did what? That's right, he drew the pictures. To the beach. That's what the sign says. It says, to the beach. 1 is a snail. 1 is a snail. Then it says, look at where the white arrow is pointing. It says, this is a snail's foot. So the snail only has how many feet? Just 1. Just 1. Let's see what else. 2 is a person. 2 is a person, right? 1, 2. So a person has 2 feet. Snail had 1. Person has 2. 3 is a person and a snail. Uh-oh, they put the person and the snail together and counted their feet. 1, 2, 3. So that's how they got the number 3. 4 is a dog. How did they get 4 for the dog? That's right, they counted the dog's feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super job. 5 is a dog and a snail. 6 is an insect. Now, how many feet does the insect have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Good job. 7 is an insect and a snail, because the insect has 6, remember? The insect had 6. So it's 6 plus the 1 the snail has. That makes it 7. 8 is a spider, because a spider has 8. 9 is a spider and a snail, because spider has 8, snail has 1, so we go 8, 9. 10 is a crab. Why do you think 10 is a crab? Because a crab has 10. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Crabs have 10 feet. Their front 2 feet, and they have a second job as claws. So their top 2 feet act as claws, but then they have the other ones that are for them to move around. Uh-oh, what's next? 20 is 2 crabs. How many was 1 crab? 10. So we could count by tens. 10, 20. So 2 crabs is 20. So we could say that is 2 tens, right? 2 tens. 30 is 3 crabs, or 10 people and a crab, because each of the people have 2 feet, and then the crab has 10, which totals 30, because we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30. 40 is 4 crabs or 10 dogs. 10, 20, 30, 40. 50 is 5 crabs or 10 dogs and a crab. Okay, so they're showing us different ways to make 50. 60 is 6 crabs. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or 10 insects, because our insects had how many feet? 6. 70 is 7 crabs, or 10 insects and a crab. Do you see how they're mixing up the numbers to still come up with the same number? Good job. 80 is 8 crabs, or 10 spiders, because spiders have how many legs? 8. That's right. 90 is 9 crabs. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, or 10 spiders and a crab. That's going to also be 90. So 100 is 10 crabs. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 100, or if you're really counting slowly, 100 snails. 100 snails, because we counted by tens with the crabs and we counted by ones with our snails, but we still got to 100. Still got to 100. So, our learning goal today was, when given a number between 0 and 100, I can count orally by tens and ones. So we counted by tens with our crabs. We counted by ones with our snails. So we did both in our story today. So we did a great job today. Now it's time for us to show our learning by creating a drawing. Can you create a drawing for me? I know you can. I want you to choose a number between 10 and 100, whatever number you want. I'm going to choose 38 today just to show you what I want you to do. And then using the characters in our story, like our crab, our snail, our dog, or the insects, any of the animals or insects in our story you can use. And then I want you to create your picture using them to make that number. So let's see. This is my picture I started. My number is what? That's right. My number is 38. 38. And if you can see my number 38 at the top, and then I chose to do 3 crabs. 1, 2, 3. And how many legs or feet do my crabs have? 10. So that's going to be 10, 20, 30. But I need 38, so I need to have 8 more. Guess what? My spider has 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could draw my picture, color my picture, and label it. So here's my picture, and I colored it. But I have my number and my picture, but I need to label it. So what should I do to label it? I have to put the numbers on their legs so that I can know what they are. So I'm going to start my counting orally on my picture so that you can see that. And I'm going to label it while I'm counting. Are you ready? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's my first 10. Can you see that? I'm going to keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So now I have my second 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So now I have 3 of my crabs labeled and I'm at 30. What else do I have to label? My spider. So that's going to be 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So I got to 38. Was that my number? Yes, that was my number, 38. So I labeled my picture while I counted orally while I was doing that. I can't wait to see your picture. I know they're going to be great because you all do great work. I want you to share your work with me by going out to Flipgrid, and you can go to that URL that's on my screen or use the QR code and take a picture of your work showing me your counting by tens and ones to 100. It was great seeing you guys. I hope to see you later this week. Have a great time counting orally to 100. Bye-bye.